Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedom and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedom.
A youth pastor in Washington state has been barred from the cafeteria because of alleged evangelization. I am Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me is Matt Barber, vice president of Liberty Counsel Action. Matt, this story comes from Bainbridge Island, Washington, where 3 youth pastors in Washington have been barred from visiting an area middle school after being accused of speaking about Christianity to students during the lunch period. Now, these are people who come to talk to students, just like anyone else comes to talk to students. There's obviously controversy as to, or I should say there's a dispute as to whether or not they actually did engage in evangelization. They said they didn't. Yeah. For right now, they've been told they can't come back because of the possibility that they might talk about Christianity.
Yeah, this is the administration here, the school administration, is being hypersensitive to the specter of, as they even say, a separation of church and state. What they don't realize is their extreme overcompensation here. They have delved now into unconstitutional waters by barring these pastors. And again, they say that, no, we were not there evangelizing, A. And B, even if they did speak about Christianity or what is inherent within Christianity, and it was a student-initiated question or something, if a student asks, so you're a pastor, what is being a pastor about? What is Christianity about? Mm-hmm. Then those pastors have every right to speak about it. They can't discriminate based on their viewpoint at the school. If they're going to allow other people to come in, they have to allow these pastors in. But simply because they are Christian, these pastors are being targeted for discrimination.
Yeah, Danny Smith is one of the youth pastors, and he takes his time to come to the cafeteria, and he just sits with the students. And his purpose is to encourage them and to help them to talk and to make them realize that they are valued and that they have worth. Seems like a very worthy goal. He says he doesn't evangelize. He says the only time church has ever come up in any way is when a student says, "What do you do?" And his response is, "I'm a youth pastor." And that's what he explained to the KIRO TV. He says, even then, sometimes I say I'm a leader because most of the kids don't even know, awfully, what a youth pastor is. So he basically will either say I'm a youth pastor or he'll say I'm a leader because they don't even know what a youth pastor might be. He's one of several cafeteria volunteer monitors who oversee the students during the lunch period. And apparently what some parents did was they went with the help of the ACLU and they complained to the school and said there's some Christianity that's taking place during the cafeteria lunch hour. And the school board president said this: "We can't ignore this. There are just too many serious issues to consider." I mean, these are youth pastors who are not evangelizing, but because of who they are, because they're a youth pastor, now they are barred because they might talk about religion, particularly Christianity, even when they say they don't. Yeah. They only do it in response to somebody's question, "What do you do?" And
where's the evidence that they're proselytizing, that they're evangelizing? There is no evidence. So we have to look, it boils down to this. They are being singled out and targeted specifically and only because they are youth pastors, because they are Christian, A, and B, because they somehow fear that they might say something about their Christianity. What has happened, Matt, to this nation, a nation wherein the Bible itself was originally one of the primary textbooks that kids learned to read out of, where we had until just a few short decades ago, we actually had prayer in our public schools, and now we're to the point where just because these people are pastors, they are literally barred from going into a public school. It boggles the mind.
It does boggle your mind that it's gone that far, and the same school board president said that's pretty dangerous. It's a pretty slippery slope, I guess I would say. That's the school president. It's pretty dangerous. Pretty dangerous. It's amazing that when you go back to the history of our country, and the country was founded on Judeo-Christian principles, and the New England Primer was a primary textbook in the public schools up through the early 1900s that taught the ABCs, and also grammar along with Bible verses and the Lord's Prayer and the Apostles' Creed and the shorter version of the Catechism. All of those were taught in the public schools, the Bible being one of the primary textbooks that influenced American public schools. Such a significant change that this is a dangerous situation. They're saying, well, I've seen this before with the ACLU, that just because of who you are, your identity, you, in their view, should be barred from otherwise equal treatment. Saw it in the Adler case that we litigated for 8.5 years or so. And that was a school policy that allowed students to have a message at the beginning or at the end of their graduation ceremony of their own choice, unfiltered, uncensored. And the ACLU during oral argument said that if Billy Graham were invited to the graduation, that would be wrong because it's likely he would say something religious. If Jane Fonda were invited, it's okay because it's likely she would not say anything religious. And we had another situation, Matt, where in the Ten Commandments case that I argued at the Court of Appeals, the ACLU argued that because it was a pastor who recommended this historical display, that itself should taint the entire display and it would be not permissible. But if someone who's not a pastor made a recommendation to the governing body, then that's a completely different story. Fortunately, the courts of appeals in both of those cases rejected the ACLU's argument, and we won both of those cases. But here you have the same thing. Because you're a youth pastor, you're automatically disqualified, even though you really don't say anything about evangelization.
And this is the ACLU's MO, and their primary reason for existence. The founder of the American Civil Liberties Union was an avowed atheist, and he said this, quote, communism is the goal, of course, and that's Roger Baldwin, the founder. And of course, inherent within communism is the secularization of a nation, because you have to break down the Judeo-Christian ethic if you're going to set up the government as God, essentially. And we have become a de facto, the state religion, the de facto state religion in the United States because of the push from the ACLU and other secularist organizations has become secular humanism, frankly. So that's what they're trying to create here. And in their own promotional materials, the ACLU has claims that religion, because of the Establishment Clause, has to be treated differently by the government. That is nonsensical in a nation that was set up for freedom of religion as one of its primary purposes.
Yeah, it's nonsensical. And, we sent, Liberty Counsel did, sent the Patriots Handbook on Religious Freedom in Public Schools. It's a little handbook, pocket-sized handbook, to all principals of all public schools in the country, K through 12. Almost 100,000 public school principals has this book that we sent all over the country. And it's available for you, too, as well, to not only send to your school principal to reiterate it, but also to the school board members. It is a very affordable little booklet about religious liberty rights in the public schools, and I encourage you to go to Liberty Counsel's website to obtain it. Also, there's some movement in Utah where Utah is looking at passing a religious freedom bill that would protect the students' rights in public schools. It would be part of a law that would talk about the rights of students to have religious expression in the public schools.
And that's encouraging. And it's time for that now. We can no longer remain only on the defensive, Matt. We have to once again play offense and on behalf of the Constitution, because with groups like the ACLU, the Constitution is under assault, and day after day the cases are mounting against our Constitution from these counter-constitutional organizations.
Well, we applaud the efforts in Utah to pass that bill. It has not passed yet, but there's other similar laws that have passed in other places, such as Texas. And if you want more information about religious liberties of public school students and teachers and parents, call us at 1-800-671-1776 and ask for the Patriots Handbook on Religious Freedom in Public Schools. Order them in bulk. They're small enough and affordable enough to have them in bulk and send them out to all of your local officials, all your school board members, your principal, your in fact, superintendent and all your other school leaders there as well, including some of the teachers that would be, I think, very much benefited by this book, Patriot's Handbook of Religious Freedom in Public Schools. You can go to Liberty Counsel website, lc.org, to order that. You can send an email. You can order it there online. Or you can call 1-800-671-1776. That's 800-671-1776. Another fascinating book that we provide is David Barton's book, Original Intent, and also the New England Primer. All of those are very fascinating historical books on religious liberty.
You have been listening to Faith and Freedom with Liberty Counsel. We hope that we have motivated you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedom. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email updates. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.